technology and entertainment that connects millions of people to moments and experiences that matter to you most. We've spent more than a decade working to address digital inequities, from connecting people to the internet to supporting young, diverse storytellers, to opening doors for the next generation of innovators, creators, and doers. Comcast wants everyone to have the skills, resources, and tools they need to success in an increasingly digital world. We are thrilled to be supporting the Southwest Metro Chamber of Commerce and all our community partners as they host these important conversations. So looking forward to today, and thank you guys.
Thank you so much. And next we got Lisa with the Chaska Historical Society.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Hi. And good afternoon, yes. My name is Lisa Oberski, and as he mentioned, I'm with the Chaska Historical Society. We are an all-volunteer 501c3 nonprofit organization here in Chaska, and we're focused on recording and sharing Chaska's history. It seems highly appropriate that we would be a sponsor for this event, since the mayors kind of pinpoint the benchmarks on where communities are going, or where they've been and where they're going. Why is Chaska's history important? It's because by learning about problems of the past and how they've been solved or not solved particularly well, that we can better address the challenges and the excitement of the future. We do have a lot of exciting news at the Historical Society. One of those is that the history book that covers 1950 to 2000, during a time when Chaska's population jumped from 2,000 to 17,000 at that point in 2000. A very important time frame in Chaska, and as so many of these communities are dealing with incredible growth, it's a great lesson on how to do that and do it well so that you can maintain your sense of community. The book features 8 chapters, including a chapter on local government, a chapter on small business, as well as on industry. And the printed copies are going to be available in early 2024. As I have been telling people for the last 6 years, we've never been closer. If you want to find out the beginnings of Security, Bank, and Trust, it's in there. Jonico, the Chaska Herald, they're in there. Cooper's, MPAC, Lakeview Industries, they're in there. And then also, please consider a business or industry membership to the Chaska Historical Society. With membership, your company will receive our quarterly newsletters and previews of our events and other offerings. And also, we will recognize your company's commitment to supporting the local community, both in our newsletter and on our website. Please grab a flyer from your table, or talk to me after today's program, or even look for the links on our website, which is chaskahistory.org. Thank you, everyone at the city, for everything that you do for the people of your communities. You make an important difference to all of us who live, work, and play here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to the copy of that book. All right, awesome. Next, Excel Energy.
Great.
Michelle?
Yep.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle Swanson. I'm a Community Relations Manager for Excel Energy. Excel Energy is very pleased to be sponsoring this event today. I think we've sponsored this event for several years in a row. And I have to tell you, it's one of my favorite events, because I think it's great when you can get multiple mayors in a room and talk about what's happening in their cities, in this area. So I'm very excited to hear about what is happening in the city, in these cities, and in Carver County. So again, thank you for attending, and we appreciate that we can sponsor this.
award for keeping it nice and short.
Yeah.
You know, when I was trying to figure out who was going to go first today, I was like, all right, how are we going to make this happen? All of a sudden I get a text saying, hey, I get to go first, right? It's like, oh, okay, Courtney. So this year, since it's my first year, I decided we'll just go alphabetical order. And then next year, you just watch out. We're going to do a little rock, paper, scissors contest to see what happens. So I'm excited for that already. So everybody give a nice warm welcome to Mayor Courtney Johnson, City of Carver. Thank you. Here.
All right. We're good? Okay. Good afternoon. Let's try that again, folks. Good afternoon. All right. My name is Courtney Johnson, and I have the honor of serving as the mayor of the City of Carver. Getting right into it, 2023 was a year of a little bit of change on the Carver City Council. New to City Council is Eric Pershman, who is the gentleman who is on the far left there. And then also new very, very recently, as in last month, is Reed Welch, who was appointed to City Council following the resignation of Joy McKnight. Rounding out our City Council is Christy Mock and then Lori Sayre from left to right on that picture. Because this is a chamber event, I want to start out by bragging on our businesses a little bit. And we had a bunch of new businesses that I'm excited to talk about in Carver this year. First new business that opened up was the Getaway Motor Cafe, which is located in Carver's historic downtown. This is a coffee shop 7 days a week, and then on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, they have adult beverages, and oftentimes entertainment, food trucks. Tara and Nate Royce, who are the owners of the Getaway Motor Cafe, were also the recipients of the 2023 Historic Preservation Award, which recognizes the work that they put into this once dilapidated building that sat vacant for literally decades. Up next is Next Steps Learning Center, which is a child care facility and 4-star parent-aware rated program that provides child care for infants, toddlers, and preschool-age children. It's located just a little ways from Quick Trip off Jonathan Carver Parkway and Monroe Drive, and they opened last February. Next Steps, it has 2 other locations, and they're opening their 4th location shortly here in Shakopee. This summer, Mizzy's Pizza opened up in Carver Square, which is on the southwest corner of the roundabout off of Jonathan Carver Parkway. Its owners are Carver residents, Jeff and Deanne Misjin, and they have 8 children between the 2 of them. What's fun about the menu at Mizzy's is that there are items that are named after and by their kids. So this is a privilege that the family children have after working at the restaurant for a certain number of hours. So if you go there, you'll see menu items like Heath's Buffalo Mac, Miles's Mac and Cheese, and Kenzie's Bacon Cheeseburger Pizza. It's also worthwhile to note that Mizzy's received a Community Growth Partnership Initiative grant in the amount of $90,000 from the CDA, which really helped them towards some of their development costs. Another new business in Carver Square, which is in that same development right next to the roundabout off Jonathan Carver Parkway, is Healing Hands Veterinary Hospital. Dr. Carissa Haverly previously had a mobile veterinary practice where she would make house calls, and she is now transitioning that to a brick and mortar location. Healing Hands opened up just last month. And last, but only because I'm going in chronological order, is Hometown Bank, which is coming soon to Carver. They're moving dirt on their location, which is right next to Quick Trip off of Jonathan Carver Parkway and Monroe Drive. Hometown Bank will also be home to a Mocha Monkey coffee shop. This nearly 6,500 square foot building with double drive-throughs, one for the bank and one for the coffee shop, is anticipated to open in the spring of 2024, which we're really excited about. Up next is residential development. Residential development is still strong in Carver, although we've seen a bit of a slowdown from the exceptional years of 2020 and 2021. That said, we're still seeing some really clear indicators of the strong housing market in Carver. When we get a large development come in, we will often phase it to allow for the construction of improvements over a number of years. In general, developers move forward with those phases every 12 to 18 months. This summer, though, or this year, we've seen Timber Creek, which is a Lennar product, move 3 phases in 1 calendar year, opening up 159 single-family home sites. So that's a really strong indication that our housing market is strong and that there are a lot of folks who are excited to build and live in Carver, and who wouldn't be. We're not just seeing single-family homes in Carver. If you look at that picture on the lower left-hand side, that is a project that the CDA has submitted to the city of Carver for a 60-unit apartment building with a mix of 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartments. We anticipate seeing those plans at Planning Commission and at City Council sometime early next year. Moving on to talk about our parks. This is a rendering of the future Creekside Park, which will be located at the site of our former wastewater treatment plant on the corner of what was formerly known as County Road 40 and Jonathan Carver Parkway. The new Creekside Park will include pickleball courts, a dog park, frisbee golf, and an extensive trail system. The city was awarded a $350,000 outdoor recreation grant from the DNR for the development of this park. We also received a $363,000 grant from Great River Greening. If you've driven past the site recently, you'll see that they're in the process of doing some tree removal down there. And what they're doing is they're repurposing these trees for a really neat project where they are going to help stabilize the banks of the creek that runs alongside the park. So construction on the park itself will begin next year. Next up is the newly expanded Ironwood Park. Ironwood Park is located just west of Carver Elementary, and it grew by 3.5 acres with this expansion. The new improvements, which are located throughout both portions of the park, the existing and the new, include an outdoor classroom, a basketball court, a pavilion, a new skate park, passive seating areas, and permanent yard games, including cornhole and ping pong. And then speaking of the skate park, we all know it's a favorite of Chaska Mark Winchell's. In fact, we recently saw him and got this picture of him shredding on the half pipe. As an aside, almost as if he knew moments before this started, Mark sent me a text saying, "Be good today." And I said, "Who shared my slides with you?" So, on a more serious note, Carver's levee improvement project is something that I've spoken to this group about before. I'm excited to share that the city of Carver was included in this year's state bonding bill and will receive $6 million for the levee improvement project. This is the largest single amount that we've received, so that's really exciting. And it brings the total that we've received on what's estimated to be a $12 million project to $9.65 million. So this money will allow us to begin construction on a levee improvement project, which could happen as soon as next year. Every other year, following an election, the city of Carver has a strategic planning session where we sit down and set goals and kind of develop our parameters to guide our work for the next couple of years. This year, we took a longer look and started out with updating the city's mission statement with a foundation of community, integrity, and stewardship. We are committed to serving current and future residents, businesses, and organizations of Carver. From there, we also work to determine 5 priority areas which will guide our work for the foreseeable future. Those North Stars are enhanced financial strength, improved operations, responsive development, stable infrastructure systems, and focused communications. Under each strategic priority, there are desired outcomes, key outcome indicators, and performance targets which describe the results and information on how those expected results will be measured. I referred earlier to the former County Road 40. So within the last year, we underwent the turnback process with the county. So now, kind of officially, the city of Carver owns, if you will, what was formerly County Road 40. So it's now no longer County Road 40. Those signs have been taken down. It is Old Carver Road, 4th Street East, Broadway, and Main Street West. So with that, not only are we on the hook to plow and otherwise maintain that section of road, but we are also able to make improvements on it, which is a process that is well underway. What we did is we convened a group of constituents that included residents and business owners along that corridor and throughout our community. And we've come up with 3 concepts that we're going to be working on, which I'm kind of excited about. This first one that you see here is the corner of Broadway and Main Street. So to get your bearings, the Getaway Motor Cafe is on the lower left-hand corner of that image on the left. Greg's Historic Gas Station is on the upper left-hand corner. And what's on the lower right is a future park in our downtown area. So the improvements that we're looking at there are bump outs to shorten those distances where folks have to cross the street coming out of the park to make that the shortest time that they're in the street and the safest way to cross the street. Main Street East on the right-hand side there will be converted into a one-way with additional parking. And then just kind of more wayfinding and kind of make it really clear that you're kind of entering a park area and entering our downtown. The next is the intersection of Mount Hope Road, Old Carver Road, and 4th Street East. So right where Casey's gas station is downtown. If you're familiar with that intersection, you know if you're coming down the road from Mount Hope Road, you've got to really crane your neck to the left, almost like an owl, to see how far back you can get your head, because it's really difficult to see the traffic that's coming from your left-hand side. What we're doing is we are proposing to change the entrance and exit on the northernmost side of Casey's parking lot to square off that intersection a little bit, so it's not as harsh of an intersection. You'll see we're also adding bump outs to also help provide a visual cue to slow down and that you're coming into downtown. And then finally, the pictures of this aren't as intriguing, but it's perhaps the most eagerly anticipated part of this project. But we are working on a trail extension from downtown Carver along Main Street East, from downtown all the way to Jonathan Carver Parkway. So this will provide a safe way for folks to get from downtown to the future Creekside Park, to the Bluff Apartments, and to the Bluffs apartment or neighborhood. So finally, there is so much in Carver that comprises our small town feel that many of our residents say it's what they love about our community and is what drew them to our community. And that includes the Edith Ann Award for Property Excellence, the Black Helmet Ceremony for new firefighters as they're becoming, transitioning from probationary firefighters to full-on firefighters, Trunk or Treat, celebrating the Carver Lions' 50th anniversary, and Night to Unite, and so much more. So with that, that wraps up my presentation. Thank you all for having me.
Thanks, Courtney. I want to know what your first move is, though, next year. Rock, paper, scissors. Depends if Mark shows up, is that what you said? No, I'm just kidding. Come on, all right. Keep going to see Chanhassen there. Ryan, nice one on the block.
And how do I move that thing? The clicker? Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, please. Just forward, all right? All right, well, welcome everybody. It's great to see all of you today. This was not part of my presentation, but I want to get something out of the way. This is not a purple dress. It is not, because it's the color of the city, and nor is it the color of Prince. It's Pinot Noir, so that's what I like to drink. So I got asked that a couple times already. Nice purple dress, so I just wanted to clear the air right away. So, because I know that's what we all care about is fashion, right? All right, so welcome everybody again. My name is Elise Ryan. I'm the mayor of Chanhassen. It is so great to be here with all of you today. First, I'd like to thank the Chamber for hosting this event. As was said earlier by the representative from Excel, it is truly one of our favorite events of the year. It's a fun way to close out the year, but then it's also a fun way to move into the holidays. So thank you for hosting this event. I know we all enjoy it. Also, thank you to the great sponsors for making this happen and the support that you give the Chamber and your involvement in all of our communities. And I would be remiss if I didn't congratulate Steve for his new position with the Chamber. I can't think of a better person to lead this group forward. Your passion for businesses, your energy, you're at every ribbon cutting, and just appreciate your positive energy that you bring to this organization. And I'd also like to acknowledge my fellow mayors and cities. It is such a joy to work with all of you. I know I say this every year, but it's important to say I think the strength of the Southwest region is because of the relationships that we have with our neighboring cities. So it's great to know that we not only have a great working relationship, but we certainly enjoy giving each other a hard time. So there's a lot of teasing and laughter amongst our group, but it's that camaraderie and collaborative nature that really strengthens this community as a whole, from businesses to resident and continued growth. So I enjoy working with all of you. And I'm excited today to share with you a little bit about what's going on in Chanhassen. What you will see as I walk through this presentation talks a lot about the investment that the city is making in our community, because we know with a strong community that supports our businesses, and it continues to strengthen and grow our city for people to live, work, and play. At a very high level, who is Chanhassen? And Chanhassen at a glance, we have 5 council members. If you move from left to right on the screen, we have Council Member Josh Kimber, Mark Von Oven. To my right, Haley Schubert, and Council Member Jerry McDonald. And we have a range of years of service on the council, ranging from 1 year to moving into your 17th year. So we have a great relationship, great working relationship. We have a shared vision for the future of our community, and I truly enjoy working with all of the council members. We have 5 commissions, and anybody that knows anything about commissions, they are really invaluable, not only to the city councils, but to the community as a whole. We have planning, park and recreation, environmental, Commission on Aging, and last but certainly not least, our Economic Development Commission. And I saved that one for last because it's a great segue into to the businesses that are here in Chanhassen. If you have an idea, or you are struggling with a question, or you need support from our city, Samantha DiMaggio, who is here today, our Economic Development Manager, and our commission is a great resource. So I encourage you to reach out to them because commissions, like I said, really provide great feedback and communication with the council as we set our priorities and agenda for moving forward. So you also see a lot of numbers up there: 81 awesome employees, 30 parks, 117 miles soon to be plowed, I'm sure, but hopefully not for a while. And then 620 acres of open space. All these numbers highlight that we have a growing community. And but what we know that is at the heart of our community is both our residents and our businesses, and it's just our people. And community is at the center of everything that we do. So I'd like to transition into talking about the great events that are at the heart of our city. It's something that our city staff works really hard on creating a sense of community in Chanhassen. We know the importance of our role as a city is to bring people together, to make them feel part of their community, so that they not only want to be there to raise their family, but then stay after they retire. So we talk about being a community for life, and this is really what our programs offer, these city-sponsored events. I'm sure many of you are familiar with our 3-day 4th of July celebration. We have an Easter egg hunt, senior center events, and then of course our beloved Memorial Day ceremony. We just had a Veterans Day breakfast, but we really work hard at honoring and thanking the veterans that have so proudly served our great nation. Some of the other events, of course, our Halloween celebration. On December 2nd, we light up the city with Christmas and holiday lights, our Christmas tree. We have great artisan fairs and senior events, and then of course, llamas. I mean, who doesn't love llamas? So we should probably bring llamas to our city council meeting, because we know then a lot of folks would attend when llamas arrive. So, but again, we just want to make it fun, intergenerational, bring people to our city, bring people into our community, and that is really why the next couple slides are so important to us, because at the heart of our city, in our downtown, is finding places and spaces to create that sense of community. 2 years ago, we went through a facility study. And that facility study showed us where our different facilities were at, where we needed to do some work and repair. And obviously our city hall was the #1 thing on the list that needed some dire attention. I always call city hall kind of like our fun house. If you make it in, you may not ever make it out. It's very confusing. It's a lot of winding areas through there. And so we knew that a new city hall was a priority for our city, but it couldn't just be a city hall. It needed to be a civic campus and a place to bring, our community together. And so this plan was created, and I'm going to walk you through it from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen. Directionally, that is from the south to the north. So at the front door is just that. It's along 78th, and it's going to be the entrance to our city hall. It's going to be the entrance to our civic campus. You will walk up they like to call it all fancy, but the grand staircase. But it's going to be a grand staircase as you walk up to the spine of the civic campus. You'll walk through the Memorial Day ceremony area where our Veterans Monument is. Right along the east-west spine, you'll see the mall, and that is going to be just a grassy area because it connects the senior center, which will be in our city hall, to the library, and that was something that was very important to our seniors to make that connection. So there will be outdoor places to sit and have a picnic or a cup of coffee and just enjoy the outdoors, either coming from the senior center or the library. Right in the center of our civic campus is called the Hollow, and that is going to be where there will be some playground equipment, adaptive playground equipment, as well as some fun water features. It started out being called a water park or a splash pad, but then you would get visions of big buckets of water being dumped on your head, and that is not what this is. This is just going to be beautiful fountains where kids can enjoy those hot summer days. Then you will move, as we move north, you'll go up some stairs and you'll land in the living room, and that is another park building that will have both indoor areas to sit and enjoy. It'll also have some covered outdoor seating when we'll have a fireplace out there and fire pits. We will have a covered performance stage for our popular summer concert series where people can enjoy from the lawn, and we'll have some tiered seating for people to enjoy the concerts, and then also have just some outdoor lawn games for people to play and again come together as a community. As you go to the north or the top of the screen, that will remain an outdoor grassy area, and that will serve the purpose of not only soccer games and playing tag and just having fun, but it is also the site of our 4th of July carnival, so we wanted to make sure that we remained having space open for that. As you move east, it's called the Courts, but we will have a skate park, a refurbished skate park, and pickleball courts. And if anybody knows anything about development and what is happening in the cities, if you're not developing pickleball courts, you're not doing it right. So I know Courtney talked about pickleball courts. I'm sure the other communities are going to be talking about pickleball courts. I'm winking at Victoria over there. But pickleball is a favorite of everybody, and so we wanted to make sure that was part of our civic campus. And now we'll walk south and we'll cut through the parking lot and we'll land back at our city hall. And this is hot off the press. We just saw this on Monday night, but this is our new proposed new city hall, and we are beyond excited about it. Yes, it's a government building, but really the purpose of this and the vision for both council and staff was to bring the outdoors inside and make sure when you are inside you're connected to the outdoors. So you'll see a lot of natural stone and natural wood, glass and windows, and we're just really thrilled about the way this is coming together. On the very top of your screen, it's focused in on the senior center. We wanted to highlight that because, again, that's such an important element and component of our city hall. And the beautiful part of that and the request from the seniors is they like to have a place to be outside on those nice months. And so if you see where those wooden beams are, that's called the porch. And that will have seating for seniors to be able to sit out, and it's across from the Veterans Memorial. It sits across from the mall area, and it will just be a great way for our seniors to be at the senior center but still be able to be connected to nature. On the lower right of your screen, that is zoomed in on the council chambers, which is really exciting. So our council chambers will be on the second floor. And something that was really important for us is to have that position on the building. So while we were in our council chambers, we have an opportunity to look out onto the city, into the community. When we're making decisions that impact the city of Chanhassen, we'll be able to look out and see our city. So we're really excited. We break ground this next summer. We will stay in the city hall while the new city hall is being built, and then that will open, hopefully, fingers crossed, 2025. And then after we move into the new city hall, then we will demolish the existing fun house and build all the park amenities and have our civic campus. So if you'll join me, we'll walk down 78th Street to the west, and we will land at our premier park, which is Lake Ann Park. I'm sure many of you have visited there for baseball or softball or soccer, the beach, park pavilion. There's so much that it already offers at this park, but with ARPA funds and some grants that we acquired through the state, we are going to develop the land that was acquired when Prince's land was developed into the Lennar development off of Galpin Boulevard. And so through this park, all you're seeing right now is trees. But why that's so significant when you see that tree canopy is we will be building trails and have bridges and boardwalk with access all around. You are feeling like you're in the North Woods. It is these towering, beautiful trees. You can't believe that you're in, not that the city of Chanhassen is a hustle and bustle type of city, but it still is just a place for respite, and it's just gorgeous. So like I said, you'll be able to access it from all areas of the city, and you'll be able to enjoy some paved trails, and then in the future, just natural trails throughout Lake Ann. So that project will begin in 2024 with the development of trails. Next, you can walk, bike, or drive your car down to Avienda. Now, I hope none of you are rolling your eyes when I bring up Avienda Village, because I know I've talked about this for the past few years, and you're like, gosh darn it, when is this thing ever going to get developed? But we're making progress, and the infrastructure is in, the roads are in, the signs for the roads are in, and you can even see some models already up on the site. So there are 39 townhomes. I'll flip forward and then back. So these are the Charles Cudd townhomes. There are 39 townhomes that will be on the easternmost part of or westernmost part of the property. Then when you move forward or back west, you will have 53 row homes. Then right at the center of this development will be an apartment building, and we don't have the name or the developer of the apartment building. Anchoring on the northwest part of this development will be a grocer. I texted the developer this morning and I said, are there any announcements when it comes to the grocer? And he said, nothing formal, so it still has to stay private. However, I know that there are a lot of rumors going around out there, but none of those I can confirm or deny, so please don't ask. But they are getting very close to being able to announce who the grocer is. And then once that grocer is announced, the rest of the development will move forward. The developers are just basically waiting to have that grocer identified for the rest of it. And then you can see right in the heart of it is, again, another great gathering space for the community, with retail and restaurants and interactive games right at the core of Avienda. And again, those are the Charles Cudd townhomes. And then in my mind, I saved the best for last. When you look at this slide, these are the people that mean truly the most to our community. At the top, this is our fire department, our Chanhassen Fire Department, and the Carver County Sheriff's Office. We invited representatives to come to our council meeting on September 11th so we could acknowledge the great work that they do. It's something that we try to do every single day. in our lives, but this was a very special event to bring them forward and then just acknowledge the great work. And then, of course, the brothers and sisters that they lost on 9/11. And then in the bottom, we're going to play a little game. Can you find Lori Hokanen? No. But these are our 81 amazing city employees. I mean, they do the hard work day in, day out, led by our city manager, Lori Hokanen, who is here today and who I greatly appreciate. She's hidden in there because that is just who she is as a person, wanting to make sure that the acknowledgement goes to her great team that she is surrounded by. But they really do the hard work and heavy lifting of our city, and I am so grateful for all that they do to make Chanhassen truly the best place to live, work, and play. So I thank our city staff, all of those that are here today. Thank you for coming, and thank you for what you do every day. So wishing everybody that is it for me and for my presentation. I appreciate your attention. Just know that the city of Chanhassen continues to invest in our city, again, to promote and attract businesses from all over and residents to come and live and raise a family. So thank you, wishing you all a very happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays, and look forward to seeing you out in the community. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And my Pinot Noir.
Yeah. Well, maybe I need to rethink the whole rock, paper, scissors thing and we do like a pickleball tournament? I don't know. Why not? Awesome. Next up, alphabetical order would be Chaska. We've got Mike Huang representing Chaska today. Thank you, Mike. Once again, hey, let's give a round of applause to Crooked Pint Catering. Great lunch today. Thanks, Jan and team. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. So come on up. Nice warm welcome for Mike.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Mike Huang. I'm the city council member representing Ward 4 in Chaska. And each year, one of the council members is assigned as a mayor pro tem. This happens to be the year I'm mayor pro tem, which means that I'm Mayor Mark's stunt double for today. I get mistaken for him all the time, so no big deal. So one of the things we do every year as a council is we get together and we define our strategic objectives. And as part of that, we have this visioning process, and we have strategic objectives that drive everything we do in the city. And as part of this, the council has to be unanimous on all of these objectives. So these are critical priorities for the city. So the 6 priorities that we have in our vision are quality of facilities, vibrant downtown, a welcoming, respectful, engaging, and inclusive community, actively developing Southwest Chaska, quality city services, and environmentally conscious community. So all of these things are represented at the bottom of the screen. As we go through the presentation, you'll see them kind of light up to highlight which of these items are touched as we talk about some of the different things that we're doing in our community. But I'd like to start with a story first. Now, it's kind of it seems mundane at first, but a while back, or not that long ago, the water and sewer department was out doing some maintenance, just cleaning some lines, and they realized there's some debris out in the field. And one of the problems with this debris was like it kind of indicated something was wrong out there. And so they did a little investigating and realized that one of the contractors who was working on some of the pipes out there had actually damaged one of the pipes. So the city water department, basically the water and sewer department, reached out to the homeowners, and they worked with the contractor and said, you know what, we got to fix this, we got to do the right thing. So as they were doing that, they said, let's also make sure that we, let the homeowners know that there's going to be an outage, communicate that information, and take care of them throughout that process. And while they were there, they said, you know what, let's also put in stop valves that way that we can, turn water on and off individually to the individual residences while we were there. And this is the type of thing that happens when you have great people who are empowered to do the right thing, right? And you also give them the tools, the equipment, the facilities to be able to do the job that they need to do and serve and really provide ultimately great service to the community. And that's really what this is about. This is about great service to serving all of our community members, people who live in the community, people who work in the community, and businesses in the community. So we're going to be talking about facilities in a little more context. But before we do that, one of the things I'd like to do is take a little step back in time. So who here was born after 1987? Raise your hands. So if you were born after 1987, you're younger than some of our city buildings here, right? And so back in 1987, some of the top songs were Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bangles, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us by Starship. Top grossing movies were 3 Men and a Baby and Fatal Attraction. Remember that one? And then, if you turn on the TV, Cheers was still in its prime, right? Gas was 90 cents a gallon. And if you were lucky enough to have a cell phone, it cost you probably about $4,000 at the time, but a Motorola Dynatac actually in today's dollars would have been about $10,000 for that $4,000 phone and weighed 2.5 pounds. So you all have a 2.5 pound phone in your pockets, right? Yeah. And here's the cool thing. The iPhone wouldn't be invented for another 20 years. So that is where 1987 was. And also, this guy was thinking about running for mayor. Yep. Yes. Oh, you want to? Yes. So when we talk about 1987, this is the context of when a lot of these buildings were just, the funding was established for building a lot of these buildings. And that's important because the buildings that we have now, the facilities we have been fantastic buildings. The fire station, municipal services building, city hall, community center. They've served us so well over the years. They were built fantastic, built to great standards and fantastic, but times changed. Since that time, there's really 3 major things have happened, right? First is that the buildings have just gotten older, right? As anything gets older, it just needs a little more TLC, more maintenance, and it's expensive to maintain these things. The community has tripled in size. Back then, we were about 10,000 people or a little less, and now we're almost 30,000. And we're going to be, in the next 15 years, probably close to 40,000 residents. So we have facilities that were built for 10,000 people that will need to support 40,000 people. And on top of that, we've learned a lot about technology and how things work in terms of how to best serve our community. So things have changed in terms of the way we serve our community and the needs of what it takes to serve the employees who actually serve our community to make sure they have the tools that they need to be successful. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we talk about the public safety campus. So we'll jump into that first. So public safety, this is the campus that includes both police and fire. Originally, we actually looked at this campus as something that would be a campus that would be something where we would take the existing fire station and then repurpose it to basically be the effectively new fire station and police station. But as we really dug into it and investigated, we realized, wow, this is gonna be a lot more expensive than we thought it was gonna be. And because of that, and because of the shape of the building, we realized there's gonna be a lot of space inefficiencies. So it made so much more sense to say, let's build a new building that can carry us forward another generation. And so that's why we're making the investment to move forward with this new public safety campus. And part of the reason why is when we talk about things we've learned along the way, let's look at our fire service as a great example of this. So in the fire service, we have a volunteer fire department, much like Chanhassen and some of our neighbors do. And we're so proud of that. But back in the day, not so long ago, the fire service worked in an all-call model. Whenever there was a fire, everybody got called, and the first 6 people who showed up got in a truck and went to wherever the call was. The problem is that's super inconvenient if you're a firefighter because you're getting called all the time and you don't know if you're actually going to be going or not. And then the other challenge is that response times aren't nearly as good as if you have people at the station already. So we've moved to a duty crew model, but one of the challenges of the duty crew model is that if you don't have space for people to sleep, you can't run it 24 hours a day. And so that's something that's really important. And in terms of a duty crew model, how much difference does it make? Well, the duty crew model actually reduces the response time from 9 minutes to about 4 to 5 minutes. 5 minutes of response time faster. What does that mean? When a fire doubles in size every minute, that means it's doubled in size 5 times over that 5 minutes. Or if you have an anoxic response or an anoxic situation where you're basically not getting enough blood to your brain, 5 minutes will mean the difference between potentially brain damage and death to a successful outcome. So having people there at the fire station can mean life or death. So that's why it's important. And in addition to that, we also have things like decontamination zones. We didn't know what we didn't know about carcinogens back then, so protecting our firefighters. Duty crews, mental health, having spaces for mental health. For the police, having areas for evidence storage, interview rooms. firearm storage, or even protection of the police vehicles or personal vehicles of the officers who are on duty during that time. So having all these things is so critically important. And what it gives us is quality of service and allows us to attract and retain the best and brightest to serve our communities. But let's talk about some of the best and brightest. And we love every member of our community. And one of the programs that we're so proud of is Growth Through Opportunities. And in fact, Growth Through Opportunities is an internship program that allows people with varying levels of physical and mental abilities to basically participate in an internship, where during the summer, they basically intern through all the different departments within Chaska. And over here, sitting at the table, is Christian Meyer, one of the graduates of our program. So Christian, let's give a round of applause for Christian. Yeah. And so Christian's one of our graduates here, and he's went through the program and be able to see all these different areas. And this is a program that allows them to be able to see and touch the different parts of the community. And then through this, we've actually hired 2 of them, Christian and another one, as employees of the city. So through this program, he was able to experience a more breadth of things that we can do out there, and also get a chance to work with the community. And one of the best things is he's actually working for the community center now, so he's actually taking time off from his job to be here. So thank you, Christian. And one of the other things I missed earlier, I do want to make sure I touch back on, is that we talk about great people that make great things happen. Jack Worm at the back corner of the room here. Jack, you raise your hand here. Jack has worked in the city of Chaska for over 45 years. So if you're younger than 45 years, yeah. So Jack, thank you. So Jack works in our electric department, and in fact he's still working because we just can't let go of him, right? You can't let go of a good thing. And Jack literally works in our electric department, so when we say he keeps the lights on, he literally keeps the lights on here. So thank you, Jack, for all of your years of service. We really very much appreciate it. Yes. And one of the other things too, we look at being inclusive as a community. Is that we also are looking at building a miracle field and an inclusive playground. So we're working with community partners to do fundraising, to make public-private partnerships to develop these amenities that will benefit everyone in our community and allow accessibility and allow inclusion for people within our community, and those to be a destination for others from outside the community. And what's really exciting is, in addition to that, we're also renovating the Chaska Par 30 into the Loop, which should open next spring. Now, what's interesting is that if you're a golfer, who likes a flat golf course that has no barriers on it, right? Well, barrier-free golf isn't about having no barriers, right? It's about having golf that's interesting and accessible for everyone. And everyone likes a little challenge, but who loves having a sand trap in their game, right? Everybody, yeah, right? So the great thing about barrier-free golf is there's no sand traps, there's no bunkers. So, but it's a way that you can enjoy this sport of golf of any skill level. And so we invite you to come and give it a try when it opens in the spring. And of course, with this, there's other community initiatives that we also spearhead to with our Human Rights Commission. So such as the Pride Picnic, the African Cultural Night, the Latin Food and Music Festival, and of course, driver's license for all, to include all of our communities within Chaska. And of course, there's many more, but we're just the tip of the iceberg. And of course, if you looked around outside, driving into here, you probably noticed Highway 41. And by the way, has anyone seen this guy driving around? Because about a week and a half ago, we had a ribbon cutting event, and Mayor Mark was able to drive across the road and cut the ribbon with his 46 Chevy there. So let's give a round of applause to Mayor Mark in that one. So, this is one of those projects that still has more work to be done, because there's a lot of landscaping and the paseos and the tunnel that have to be done. And those will be fully finished in July of 2024, but we have to give a big thank you to all the downtown businesses, the residents, engineers, construction crews, county and state partners, as well as the Chamber and Downtown Business Alliance for getting this done. So a big shout out to everyone there. But along with this, there's other things going on in downtown Chaska as well. There's the Minnesota River Bluff Trail connection, which is actually the underground walkway that will pass through that allow you to walk from Carver all the way to Minneapolis. As a long walk, by the way. So, And of course, there's City Square West, which is down the street, and that's across from the City Square Park. And that we're still working on getting funding for that. And so we had a bonding tour in October, and we're looking to hopefully kick that off in the next year or two once we can secure some more funding for that. And that'll be a great public and a public amenity with residences and retail as well. And as we talk about things we do in the city, we also can't forget about sustainability. And as part of MMPA, we're actually one of 12 member cities that's part of the Minnesota Municipal Utilities Association. So we were effectively our own municipal electric company or power company. And one of the things we're really proud of is the fact that we are actually ahead of the 25% renewable energy mandate from the state, which is due by 2025, because we are currently at 43% of renewable energy generated within our area. And what's really exciting is that we're able to do this with things such as the Lessor biomass facility, which basically takes effectively leftover food and waste food and actually converts that into natural gas, or to use some of these wind farms that we actually have that are built and owned by and operated by MMPA. So through all of these different measures, we're starting to move that needle and move towards that sustainable goal. And let's talk a little bit about some of our businesses. So when you talk about business, now Jabil is a small but growing company. It's a local company that focuses on manufacturing of polymers. And one of the things that's exciting about this company is this is a great example of a company that started here in Chaska, but it's continued to grow and reinvest in Chaska. And this year they'll be investing in another 31,000 square feet of real estate, and then expanding into that with another $5 million and probably about 10 to 12 jobs. So it's a great example of continued growth in our area. And in addition to that, we have companies like Amyris, which is actually based out of Boston, but then what they specialize in is MRI machines in hospitals, to be able to move MRIs in hospitals for surgical use. And they've opened a new facility here in Chaska. And and what's really exciting is companies like that coming into Chaska to invest and bring businesses and jobs and revenue. And what's really, really cool is that it's not just companies that have technologies like that, but it's also more data centers too. So for example, Cloud HQ is looking at building a 1.9 million square foot data center in Chaska as well. So there's a lot going on, and that doesn't even include some of the residential, 26 townhome units, 151 single family dwellings, and another 705 apartments that we're building. And all this ties into, all about this small town community that's just growing, and there's so much happening here. But all the people who are part of that need to go somewhere. So where do they go? They go to the community center. And the community center itself, as we talked about, is one of those facilities that's over 30 years old. But right now we're in a visioning process. And as part of that visioning process, we're trying to understand what the needs are today and into the future so we can figure out how best to serve the community. Now, the good news is we can ideate it and we can figure out what things would look like, what it would cost. But right at this point, we haven't identified any funding. So there's no funding associated with it. Don't know exactly how big it's going to be or how much of it will do. So right now, a lot of it's just trying to figure out exactly how much or what we could potentially do and what we as a community want to do. So there's a lot of that ideation at this point. So still going through that process, and we're really excited to go through that in partnership with our community. And of course, there's a bunch of other projects going on. So if you've driven up north on 41 and driven through the new PV roundabout, you're probably noticing that there's a bunch of development up there, including the Springs at McKnight Lake, which is about 280 of new condominiums or rental condominiums that are being built that will be right next to the new Costco. So Costco will be coming to town, and that should open in fall of 2024. So a little less than a year from now, it should be open. And of course, the Chaska Tech Center, and of course, the multifamily units we just talked about. But wait, there's more, right? So some exciting news is that we have the 2024 U.S. Amateur Golf will be coming to Hazeltine and Chaska Town Course. And next August, in 2024, here at the Curling Center, we'll have the 5 and Under National Curling Championships. 5 and Under doesn't mean under 5 years old, by the way. It means, I asked that question, so. What it means is that if you have less than 5 years of experience curling, you can join that national competition, and that's a national competition next April. And then the 2026 KPMG Women's PGA Championship will be here at Hazeltine. But here's the thing is most exciting to us: the 2029 Ryder Cup will be returning to Hazeltine. And this will be the first time that the Ryder Cup has returned to the same location in the United States. So that is a little feather in our cap. So, but let's close with a little bit about that first story we told you earlier. So remember we talked about the sewer water and the water getting cut off? Well, one of our residents who lived on that street, Doreen, was actually going to go into surgery later that week and was really concerned about what happened. But because of the communications, because of the effort to reach out and work with her and make sure that she was accommodated and they were and taking her needs into account, she was so grateful for what the Water and Sewer Department did that she wrote a nice thank you letter to thank them. And this sets the bar for what we do as a community in terms of providing great, high-quality service that you would find in a small town. And this is something that we really hold true to in Chaska, that this is about all of us. This is about the residents, about the businesses. This is about all the people who come to visit us, that we treat everyone here as a member of our family. So we do this all because we're a quality small town. Thank you.
All right, that was awesome. Next we have, can we get a copy of all those pictures of Mark, please? It was on our website. Oh, we got more. We got more. Thank you. I want Mark to be here. Maybe we should. Welcome to Mayor microphone for the video.
Oh, got it. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I screwed this up. There we go. There we go. Hi, everyone. I'm Deb McMillan. I'm the mayor of the wonderful city of Victoria, and I'm honored to be here today. And when you bat cleanup like I'm doing here today, everybody has already done all their thank yous to the sponsors and the hosting organization and their fellow elected officials. So thanks to all of you for taking care of that business for me. However, I still am very grateful. In this past year, we've been working hard in Victoria to build community for our community. So I want to share some highlights with you today. From city streets to parks and trails, safe drinking water and safe neighborhoods, we recognize that our community, to be a desirable place to live and invest, must lay the foundation for our community to connect and grow. One of the more exciting pieces of news that we received this year were the state and federal funds that we will get to make the long-awaited and much-needed improvements to Highway 5, as well as local connections to this corridor. With the tireless work of County Engineer Lyndon Robgent, I'm sorry, Lyndon, and all our community partners at the cities of Chanhassen, Chaska, MnDOT, and the Landscape Arboretum, we were able to secure nearly 80% of the funding for the $148 million needed to improve the Highway 5 corridor. Improvements on the roads that feed into the corridor or serve as a relief valve for Highway 5 will begin as early as next year, including 82nd Street, which runs along the backside of the Arboretum. And then work on Highway 5 is anticipated to start in 2025. Through these improvements, we are building community for our community. The projects will boost safety, decrease congestion, and unlock economic investment, making it easier and safer to access our downtown businesses, which are the heart of our community. Not only are we building roads in Victoria, we're using the power of engagement to build community for community. We're humanizing our approach so we as a local government are more approachable. We're meeting people where they're already gathering. We're listening to ensure what's important to our community members is reflected in the work that we do, at the programs and services we provide. I want to share a fun story that really shows the power of engagement that reflects our building community for community. This summer, we relocated our skate park to Lions Park to make room for our new outdoor pickleball courts, there's that theme, at D-Town Park. We worked hand in hand with Victoria resident and enthusiastic skateboarder Stevie Wiggins. Stevie attended a city council meeting this past year and spoke passionately about the sport. He offered to volunteer his time and talents to the project, which we gladly and enthusiastically took him up on. City staff, along with Stevie, meticulously planned the new layout to ensure that the skate park's equipment would cater to skateboarders of all skill levels, including his own 3-year-old daughter, who's expected to frequent the park and hopefully take her first ride on a skateboard within the upcoming year. The collaborative effort resulted in a skate park that not only meets the needs of seasoned skateboarders, but also fosters an inviting environment for newcomers to the sport. The Victoria Lions Park Skate Park stands as a testament to the power of community engagement and the shared passion for creating space that brings people of all ages together. Why do I share this story? It's this type of engagement, outreach, and collaboration, whether it's for our parks or transportation or infrastructure projects or economic development, that helps us build community for our community. In fact, we continue to work closely with our business community, proactively seeking and sharing information and proudly working together to develop strategies and visions that will carry us forward and strengthen our community. New this year, we helped build and identify a 50+ women business owners and senior leaders in Victoria who now make up Victoria Women in Business. This collaboration is designed to build camaraderie, serve as a sounding board for new ideas, provide peer support for our local business community, and showcase the different women-owned or women-led businesses that we have. And please don't let that name scare you off. Participation is not limited to women. It also welcomes supporters of women in business. Additionally, our team contacted every business in Victoria to extend an invitation to meet one-on-one. We've asked questions like, what keeps you up at night? What do you love about Victoria? What are your expansion plans in the next 5 years? And how can the city support your business? In the first week alone, we met with 11 businesses and heard over and over that these meetings are helping our Victoria businesses feel more connected, more confident to invest in the community, and more excited to share new ideas and as valued members of our community. It's our connection and our relationships with our residents and our businesses that reinforce that we are building community for our community. And in Victoria, we also take pride in the many partnerships and community builders we have. Our Community Builder program is now in its 3rd year and provides recognition for outstanding volunteerism or exemplary action or extraordinary commitment to making Victoria a better place today and for the future. In 2023, the Victoria Garden Club was awarded this honor for their dedication to beautifying our city, which makes it an even more attractive place to live, work, and invest. We're so grateful for the many volunteers who generously donate their time and talents to bettering their community, and we honored all of our volunteers this summer during our volunteer recognition event. We're also grateful for all of the organizations, clubs, associations, faith communities, nonprofits and businesses, and associations who are working hard to build community for our community. Through their investment, work, and commitment to events and activities like our classic car shows, Victoria's Halloween event, our winter lighting, and the Vic's baseball games. It is these events that continue to promote our businesses and the many wonderful businesses and amenities we have that draw visitors and residents alike to Victoria and our downtown, which adds to our vibrancy. In Victoria, in every conversation, decision, interaction, we are building community for our community. This year marked our 4th year for our Citizens Academy, where residents get a behind-the-scenes and interactive look at how the city operates. Not only do they leave feeling more informed, engaged, and connected to the city, they feel connected to each other, as many forge new friendships in the course of the 5 weeks they are together. Our popular monthly Donuts with Victoria series continues to grow. This year we've had record turnout, and the topics are 100% driven by the attendees of the program. In July, we hosted our 3rd annual truck rodeo, which drew hundreds to the Victoria Rec Center, where visitors see and sit in the various vehicles, trucks, and equipment that the city uses. The event is becoming a family favorite for many and is well attended by our business community as well. In August, city firefighters, council members, and staff visited 20 neighborhood parties during the annual Night to Unite event. You don't see it here, but that very day we took delivery of our brand new fire truck and we got to ride in that for the first time. That was very fun. In September, we welcomed several hundred of community members to our fire department open house, where they learned more about fire safety and emergency services in Victoria, and also got to show off our brand new fire truck at that. Our city staff has attended dozens of community events throughout the year with our city booth, Hello Victoria. This year, we connected with residents and visitors to share information and invited input and feedback on what it means to be the city of lakes and parks. I hope you've been inspired to visit Victoria, or perhaps do more than just visit. Victoria is the city of lakes and parks, but it's also the city of amazing residents and businesses, the city of vibrancy and resilience, the city of community connection and involvement, the city of friendly neighbors and charming neighborhoods, the city of opportunity, and the city of success. Gathering input and feedback from our community, developing a plan, thinking long-term, and being nimble enough to pivot helps ensure we build a resilient community that allows Victoria to thrive now and into the future, as we know that the work we're doing today and the decisions we're making, we're doing in the spirit of building community for our community. As I wrap up today, I want to say how proud of the team we have at the city and how grateful I am to serve alongside the dedicated city council colleagues that I have. Derek Gunderson, Chad Roberts, Greg Ivansky, and Andy Reif. And it is a pleasure to see and get to know the many, many wonderful residents and businesses that make Victoria shine. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the staff at the City of Victoria. We are so grateful to have talented, dedicated staff that carry out the council's vision, interact with our residents, developers, and businesses, always with the highest level of respect and customer service. To wrap up, I invite you to spend some time in Victoria and explore our many programs, recreational amenities, services, dining, and retail places, all of those things that make Victoria the vibrant, resilient, wonderful, and unique community that it is. Thank you again for having us here today. It's been a pleasure.
Well, that was great. We have a few minutes left. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I do want to ask if there are any elected officials here to please stand. I know there's at least one that you can't miss. Councilman Luderman is here, so thank you for that. You know, any other city officials that are here, just thank you for being here. Samuel, Southwest Media News, I just appreciate everybody's partnership with the Chamber. It's made my first month and a half on the job that much more fun and exciting. So excited for next year for what all four of our Chamber cities have to offer all of us. If anybody has any questions, we do have a few minutes. Welcome you to come on up and ask a question. If you want to know, what color is Courtney's shirt? Is it blue? I don't know. It looks blue to me. Is it seltzer blue? I don't know. But anyways, again, anybody have questions or concerns, questions for the Chamber, questions for our four cities? The floor is open. Project South Basie Park, Chanhassen. Oh yeah, they're moving dirt this week. Mayor?
It's Audubon Business Park. Well, there's an Excel representative here. I don't know if they want to speak directly on that.
I don't know, I heard there's a new golf course going in.
It's an Excel Business Park, so we've got a lot of comments about the involvement with the community, but Excel did a great job with an open house, inviting the neighbors and residents to attend. Sorry, I don't think I have my back to you. And
all the mayors and being here. So it's such an honor. I have a new business in Chanhassen, actually, and I didn't hear much about like mental health programs and mental health initiatives, especially for the next generation and youth. Can the mayors or one of the mayors specifically touch on, are there specific programs that are being established to, for example, eradicate teenage suicide, those types of things?
Can I suggest that we give that to Commissioner Bruderman?
There is a roundtable coming. I did get an email from Scott and a text from Matt about this.
We can play ping pong because I gave it to Dr. Scott. Dr. Scott leads our public health for Carver County. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is oftentimes the role of mental health falls on the county. And that's in partnership with the cities, that's in partnership with the school districts, that's in partnership with the businesses. But couldn't be more proud that Dr. Scott and his team are leading a number of initiatives. One is called Communities of Belonging. We recognize that mental health is tied to community connections. And when you talk about an affluent community, it's very active. Sometimes you don't have those community connections. We have a high alcohol use in this area because we have disposable income. Those are the nuts and bolts behind some of the things that are going on. So there's initiatives called Communities of Belonging. We're in homes, you're in communities talking about these things. Dr. Scott's also leading the charge. November 30th, there's going to be a forum. We're talking about mental health, mental wellness, and all the things that are there. We're bringing together school district and Ridgeview and county. And just to talk about those three entities, they represent about 20% of the workforce in our county. And it'll be a panel organization. And then there's headwinds too that collectively we can do and we are doing. There's opioid dollars that are on the table. There's going to be tax revenue from cannabis and marijuana. Those are some sources of funding that we haven't had before, and we need to put those to work. So I'm just going to say that from a broad spectrum. The county typically deals with a lot of those in partnership with communities. I see a lot of not-for-profits in them as well. And I'd just like to give 30 seconds to Dr. Scott to say a few more words.
And it's going to be a Ridgeview, right? In your boardroom there.
I don't know, I think Commissioner Bruderman did a nice job. I'm not sure I want to take any of his thunder. But just to acknowledge, we are going to be partnering with Ridgeview Medical Center to hold a mental wellness roundtable where we'll be addressing how we're planning to use the opioid settlement agreement dollars, and then also host a panelist of people just to begin the conversation about how we can collectively address the issues of mental health. Because I think no one of us can address that issue, and it's across, and obviously we're seeing a significant crisis and growth and concern about mental health in our community. But I think collectively, along with the concepts of community belonging, we can probably make a dent in that and start reversing some of the trends.
Great, thank you. I'll forward you that email.
I got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay. All right, awesome. Anybody else? Big plans? Any other of our business partners have anything exciting for 2024? Samuel, any questions? No? Oh, come on, you got a lot of them. I know you did.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah?
Just to add to that, I appreciate Commissioner Bruderman and Dr. Scott for your comments that it is at the county level. But we do get a lot of questions from residents about posting information on our website about mental health resources. And we hesitate to do that at a city level because one, it sits with the county, but two, we don't want to pick one or over the other, so that's why we get questions about could you please do it. But we have so many amazing resources in all of our communities, and we do have nonprofits. I mean, from mental health to Grief Club of Minnesota, we have so many great organizations within each of our communities that do reach out to the city, and we can give that information. We pass it along, we just don't post it on our website. So it is a concern of all of our cities. It's certainly a concern with both of our police and fire departments, and we take initiatives internally to address it. But as a community as a whole, we really like to make sure that that's at the county level with the professionals at the county level. But it's a great question, and we do definitely have partnerships and work closely with all of our nonprofits in our respective communities. But thanks for the question.
Excellent. We do have something exciting. We're doing the chamber as well. We're doing our annual giving tree. We have about 9 nonprofits right now signed up, and we're looking for a way to engage our nonprofits with our business, with our chamber community, so they can get to know each other and understand more what they do throughout the entire year versus just the time when everybody's asking for that gift for the giving. Giving week is coming up, or giving day, right? So we're excited about that. We partnered with Love Inc. and A Better Society, and I think we've got 7 other nonprofits that have signed up, and the goal is to
to come up with 1,500 gifts for those nonprofits that sign up, and they're gifts that they can use throughout the year. So look more to that. More info coming out today in the newsletter on that as well. I don't know, it's an awesome day. We got room to probably fit another 40 or 50 people in here next year, so I'm excited for that. Anything else? No? All right, well, thanks everybody for